Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 2020 TBR. I hate TBRs because for whatever reason, whenever I tell myself that I have to read this book, then all of a sudden I want to read every book but that one, or if I try to force myself to read that specific book, it puts me in a reading slump. So I usually don't make TBRs, but I do always make a yearly TBR, and it's not so strict. They're mostly just the books that I want to make a priority to read that year, and it doesn't matter when I read them in that year or if I even read them at all. And I really do like making yearly TBRs because it keeps me focused on the books I want to prioritize instead of forgetting about them because I have so many books. So without further ado, here are all the books I want to make it a priority to read in 2020. And this list does include all of my most anticipated releases of next year, but because I've already made a video talking about those, I'm not going to mention them again in this video. If you want to know my most anticipated releases, you can check out the video that's going to be in the cards above, and I will leave it in the description. And just so you know, these are in no particular order. First, I have Unearthly by Cynthia Han. This is a very old YA series, and it follows a girl who finds out that she's part angel. That's all I know about it. That's all I want to know about it. I've heard that this is a very underrated series, and I missed it back when it came out a long time ago, so I want to make it a priority to get to it next year. Next, I have Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. This is the first book in the companion spin-off series to Vampire Academy. I loved Vampire Academy when I was in high school. I flew through the entire series. It was so addicting, and people say that they like this series even more than Vampire Academy, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I did read half of this book like 2 years ago and I never picked it back up again. I don't really know why. So I need to read this book. It's been on my yearly TBR for the past 4 years. It's time I finally get to this one. Next, I have The Program by Suzanne Young, and this is a YA dystopian series in which suicide has now become an epidemic, and the government basically herds up all of the depressed teenagers and sends them to these treatment camps to cure them of depression in order to prevent suicide. I have a friend who read this book and really liked it, and she thought I would like it as well, so I got it, and it's one that I've had my eye on for years. It's not that popular, but it's just popular enough to hit booktube here and there. But I never really felt inclined to pick it up until my friend recommended it to me, but now I have it. I think I will really like it. I just need to read it. Next, I have Again But Better by Christine Riccio. I pre-ordered this book because I thought I was going to read it as soon as it came out, and I didn't. This is supposed to be a new adult coming-of-age romance novel, and it follows the main character as she tries to redo her college experience. I've heard mixed things about this book, but hopefully I fall in with those who love this book. Next, I have A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is the third book in the An Ember in the Ashes series, and I really liked An Ember in the Ashes, and I enjoyed the sequel as well, but for some reason, I haven't felt led to read this third book yet. Maybe it's because I'm waiting for the fourth book to be released. I don't really know, but I'm going to use that as my excuse. This is a YA fantasy series, and the world is inspired by the Roman Empire. I really need to get to it, but it's also one that I don't feel bad about not reading it yet. Next, I have Ghosts of the Shadow Market by Cassandra Clare and a bunch of other people. This is a collection of short stories and novellas set in the Shadowhunter Chronicles world. Whenever Cassandra Clare writes novellas, she releases them in ebook format, like one per month. And instead of purchasing each one of those individually and then also buying the bind-up hardcover edition, I just wait for the hardcover edition to come out because I don't want to spend 50 bucks on novellas. But anyway, this collection was finally released and I still haven't read it yet this year, so I'm going to make it a priority to read next year. Next, I have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the Nikolai duology. It is a companion slash spin-off to the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Nikolai is my favorite character in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I was excited to get this when it was released, and still haven't read it. Next, I have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is a YA historical fiction series following vampires, and Renee Ahdieh is one of my favorite authors. I love The Wrath and the Dawn. It is absolutely one of my favorites of all time. So I'm excited to read her newest novel. I've heard mixed things about it, but because I love Renee Ahdieh so much, I can't really fathom her books disappointing me. Next, I have King's Cage and Warstorm by Victoria Aveyard. These are books 3 and 4 in the Red Queen series. Surprisingly, I really liked Red Queen and I enjoyed the sequel as well, so I want to finish this series next year. This is a YA dystopian urban fantasy style series, and it follows characters who have superhuman abilities. Next, I have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is an adult fantasy novel, and it also has very mixed reviews, and it also deals with some tough, hard-hitting topics, and some people don't like that, but I personally love those types of things in books, and especially in fantasies, because that doesn't happen a lot. I don't know anything about the plot because I don't want to be spoiled, but I'm excited to read this one. And lastly, I have City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Sorry. This is an adult fantasy, and as far as I know, it's inspired by Persian Arabian culture, which I love. I've heard great things. I'm expecting great things. I'm excited to read this one. Hopefully, I actually get to it next year. Alright, that is my 2020 TBR. Don't forget to check out my most anticipated releases of next year if you want to know the rest of the books that I'm planning on reading as well. Let me know in the comments down below what books you want to make it a priority to read next year. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more bookish content by me. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.